What's up, guys? It's Wednesday, and it's Wayback Wisdom Wednesday once again. First off, thanks for clicking on this video. It shows that you really enjoy any of my videos or all of my videos that you've been clicking on, and thanks for taking the time out of your day to show your support. Today, what I'll be doing today is I'll be sharing another past Yodaism like I always do when it comes to Wayback Wisdom Wednesday. This particular Yodaism basically asks a question, and that question is, what is a geek? I posted this particular Yodaism on Friday, June 11th, 2010, and the backstory itself is in regards to how geeks were considered at the time, have been considered uncool because of how it relates to like talking about your favorite fandoms and being a geek and sharing what you enjoy the most out of life. And I think it was during that time that the geek culture was not really prevalent, but as time went on, it started to grow. Granted, geek culture was prevalent all throughout history, but it was kind of kept on down low. Now geeks all around the world are showing their power. So thus, this particular Yodaism entitled Power to the Geek. So let's begin. What is a geek? By definition, it's a term that refers to an individual who has a fair amount of knowledge when it pertains to certain things like music, video games, comic books, Japanese anime, books, television, movies, etc. Without a doubt, every person is considered a geek, and whether you don't want to admit it yourself to the point of continually denying it, don't, because you are, in fact, are one. You see, geeks are everywhere, and it may be a surprising situation indeed to know there are those who don't necessarily fit the typical geek persona, whereby, breaking a long-standing misconception. For a many number of people like myself have embraced their geeky side, and quite frankly are not ashamed in revealing the extent of our geekiness. Let me ask you this question. How many of you randomly quote movie lines on any given day at work with your coworkers, friends, and or family? I think it'd be safe to say we all do it to the point where friends, family, coworkers join in and try to stump each other, especially if it's about one particular movie. Thinking about it, there are so many quotes from well-known movies that geeks like myself can say certain ones off the top of our heads without even thinking about it. Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Star Wars, Spaceballs, Napoleon Dynamite, Airplane, Airplane 2, Happy Gilmore, any Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Braveheart, 300, The Princess Bride, etc. The list goes on, are just a handful of movies that geeks everywhere not only quote by heart, but enjoy quoting them to no end. Alright, continuing on. If you think about it, there comes a point as a geek where reminiscing about old TV shows you grew up with back in the day amongst friends is considered an enjoyable experience. If you grew up in the 80s and 90s, shows like the A-Team, Knight Rider, Airwolf, Street Hawk, The Highwayman, Simon and Simon, T.J. Hooker, Quincy, Columbo, Magnum P.I., The Fall Guy, Starman, Alienation, Remington Steele, Heart to Heart, Scarecrow, Mrs. King, Miami Vice, Perfect Strangers, Quantum Leap, Hardcastle McCormick, Moonlighting, Spencer for Hire, etc. were considered absolutely entertaining. For instance, in what show can the bad guys not get shot but instead have a trail of bullets chasing them in the A-Team, which was awesome when you're a kid, but as an adult, it's considered pretty lame. Well, the question can be asked, when it comes to your favorite celebrities / singers, who do you think is considered a geek? The answers may surprise you. Essentially, every guy fell in love with or had a crush on Winnie Cooper, aka Danica McKellar from The Wonder Years. Personally speaking, pausing for a second here, I think every guy who grew up in the 80s watching Wonder Years, including myself, had a crush on her, and I believe she's still single, so there's hope for one of us yet. So here's hoping for you guys out there, including myself maybe, who knows. Anyways, continue on. She not only considers herself a geek, but also America's Best Dance Crew, Layla Kaylee, who's an avid gamer. Who else is an avid gamer? Robin Williams, LA actor Robin Williams, and Chuck star Zach Levi and Josh Gomez. Robert Downey Jr. is a comic book geek, which is widely well known. Queen's guitarist Brian May is a rock and roll geek who was appointed Chancellor of Liverpool at John Moore University. Mr. Fast and Furious Vin Diesel, whose real name is Mark Vincent, is a down-and-out Dungeons and Dragons geek, which may be surprising to many of you fans of his out there.
This was so much fun. These are the wonderful people that I played Dungeons and Dragons with, and our DM Matt Mercer, who really kicked ass.
It was so much fun.
He, along with Joe Manganiello, who was recently in the Justice League movie at the end credits, where he portrays Slade Wilson Deathstroke, is also a Dungeons and Dragons geek as well.
I'm Archon, the Cruel, the Red, Dragonborn, Oathbreaker Paladin, and Worshipper of Tiamat. I am old school. I started playing with the Red Basic set. This is like not just a funny t-shirt, this is actually like OG, that's where I started.
To the point where he did jackets and has his own personal gamer room of his, so that's a cool thing right there. Now, finally, in retrospect, geeks are cool and always have been. In the past, they would be described as a person with bad hair, always sweaty and uncoordinated. Not now, as the stereotype has changed immensely. It's not how much knowledge that we have when it comes to certain things like quoting countless movie lines off the top of our head or reading all the Harry Potter Twilight book series. It's how much you enjoy sharing with others, even though they may not share your enthusiasm. Hey, geeks are not just considered cool, but from what I've read, they're also considered an attractive as well as sexy quality for a certain number of women. Question: Where are these women? In the end, I say to my fellow geeks all around the world, power to the geek. And that, my friend, is the Yodaism entitled Power to the Geek. So, what do you think? Like it, hate it, thoughts, musings? I think many of us can all agree that in certain ways we're all geeks. When it comes to whether it's movies, books, anything, whatever the case may be. And I can safely say I am a massive geek when it comes to collecting Yoda memorabilia or writing Chuck fan fiction or whatever the case may be that I enjoy doing, or cosplay. I've been doing cosplay for when it comes to going to Pensacon or MegaCon or Paracon. I've been doing it close to almost like 4 years now. So, but yeah, it's do what you love doing and don't be embarrassed about it. Own it, and yeah. So, anyways, like I said, hit like. Yeah, if you enjoyed this particular Yodaism, comment below. This particular Yodaism's link will be at the description area under this video, along with my other links to my social media pages like Facebook, Twitter, along with my Chuck fan fiction, along with my Yodaism blogspot page as well. So yeah, if you like my any other videos, check them out. Hope you enjoyed this particular video. And with that said, I hope you come back for another installment of Wayback Wisdom Wednesday. Alright guys, have a good one.
Watching X-Files with no lights on, with all our maisons. I hope the smoking man's in this one like Harrison Ford.